Welcome back to the Sunday Business Page.
African Americans represent almost a quarter of the population in the city of Pittsburgh and about 13% in Allegheny County. Yet their presence as part of Pittsburgh's executive leadership is less than 1%. It's a disparity that results in a lack of diversity and new creative ideas that could make a stronger community. The Advanced Leadership Initiative is developing an executive education program for African American leadership in corporate and nonprofit leadership roles. Joining us now on the Sunday Business Page to talk about this effort are two guests. Evan Fraser is founding director of the Advanced Leadership Initiative and senior vice president of community affairs at Highmark Health. Robert Allen Young is managing director of the Advanced Leadership Initiative. Gentlemen, welcome to the show, and thank you for the important work you're doing in this area. Evan, I've known you for years.
Great to be here.
It's always great to have you. You are in an executive leadership position, but that's a rarity in Pittsburgh.
Sure.
So talk to us first about the issue, about the problem. What's going on in the greater Pittsburgh area with respect to African Americans in what we're talking about, C-suites, corporate boardrooms, and the like?
So I think the biggest thing is that in order for us to really bridge the gap and to really make improvement from a regional diversity perspective, we have to be deliberate about it. You know, it's not one of those things that will just we'll achieve it passively by either ignoring it or just going along with the flow. You have to do something that's operational that will really help us to achieve the goal. So that's where the Advanced Leadership Initiative comes into play.
And we're not about putting a token representative on your board.
That's exactly right.
We're talking about folks who are CEOs, COOs, CFOs, people who are actually working in the corporations themselves. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. So we're looking to build an intentional pipeline of African Americans to fill executive leadership roles and to, and intentionally build a more inclusive and diverse business community here in Pittsburgh.
And one of the ways, if I could just say, we're doing that is that we're focused on investing in African American executives and mid-level managers for executive leadership roles.
Well, are we seeing that, gentlemen? Are we seeing African Americans at that mid-level range, more hires at that range, and it's just a matter of getting older, which is usually how you end up in the top positions?
Right. Well, that's certainly part of it. There is a pipeline of mid-level managers, fewer executive level managers or executive level individuals, and we need to cultivate both. And so it's cultivating the pipeline and growing those in the middle management segment to executive roles and those in the executive roles to C-suite level roles.
Robert, let me ask you, what is the training? How do you go about training folks then to become C-suite level people?
Right. So with our academic partner, Carnegie Mellon University, there's an Executive Leadership Academy, which is a 7 to 8 month program that each participant will matriculate through. And there'll be world-class training that our participants will be exposed to as well.
What is the nature of that training? I mean, do people come in and talk to, I mean, I don't know enough to know whether African Americans need to be trained any more than Asian Americans or European Americans or anybody else.
So there are three components to the training. You know, the first is more of a classroom curriculum, similar if you're going to a Harvard Business School type program where you're getting marketing, finance, strategy, all those kind of things.
Sure.
But what we're building into the curriculum is something that most universities don't teach and most companies don't teach, which is, how do you deal with implicit bias in the workplace? What are some successful tips and strategies for, navigating the corporate landscape as an African American or as a person of color? And really speaking to those things, because that's part of the challenge. The other thing we do is we have, for each person coming in the program, we have their own executive coach. And then we're going to have each person matched to an executive mentor, someone who is a C-suite level person in our region, not in New York or somewhere else in the country, but in Pittsburgh.
Right here.
Or in the region, and to help foster those relationships. Because I think that's the biggest part is those relationships.
Well, I know you now have a brochure about the Executive
Yes.
Leadership Academy.
Yes.
And
fantastic.
have you started your classes yet, Robert?
So they'll begin January of the next year. Currently, we're accepting applicants for that cohort. So we're excited about the momentum that we've seen from cross-sector partners and participants.
Right. We only have about 30 seconds left. Are there a lot of folks interested in this kind of a training?
Absolutely. So we are looking to invest in 20 to 25 individuals this year and each year. And we have nearly 50 applicants for the program already. So we're in the process of evaluating, and we'll be making decisions soon. But I really wanted to come here today to introduce our new managing director. This is Robert, Robert Young. We're so excited about his arrival. And if you could just quickly
Well, we're all out of time, but Robert, it's great to have you on the show.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
And we're going to have you guys back because
Yes.
this is obviously we've had you on before.
Absolutely.
This is a very important initiative, and I wish you huge success in what you're doing. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with a program note and more of the Sunday Business Page in just a few moments. Stick with us.